Hi guys, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, Vikrant.
Okay.
Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning, Vikram.
Okay, I hope you guys can see the screen, right?
Yes,
Yes. Okay, in the last session we saw like about all subscribers, right? We started with all subscribers and we saw the two contents in that. I think only one part of all subscriber, that was only the uh
Vikrant, there are so many new students, so we can start from the
oh,
start. Yeah, it's the first day.
okay, cool. Okay, hi guys. Myself Vikrant. So I'll be your tutor for Marketing Cloud. Okay. So I'll be walking you through the system of Marketing Cloud, how exactly we use it, and this is our first session. Okay, so I'll begin with the first part of it again. Okay, so before we start or jump into this, okay, this is the dashboard of Marketing Cloud. Okay, which involves email, SMS, advertising, personalization, and web studio. Okay, then we have reporting. Then we have other two models called as automation journey builder, content, audience. Okay, Einstein App Exchange and platform. Okay, the system will allow you to send only email and not SMS, but we can see the configuration of email and push notifications. Okay, my bad. See the configuration of SMS and push notifications. Okay, but we cannot send any of them. Okay, so I'll begin with Email Studio. So under Email Studio, you have different models available. Okay, that models within your Email Studio. Out of that, we'll start with overview. Okay, for now. So what is overview and what exactly it helps you with? Okay. So let's imagine like you work with a team of 5 to 6 people together. Okay. And one of the team member is not available for a couple of days. Okay. And you want to see some urgent files that he have edited. Okay. Whatever edits he have made in last 24 hours or 48 hours, whatever you say, right? Just enter his name in this section over here. Last modified by. Okay. It will list you out all the things he have done. Okay. For example, if I'm in content builder email, right? It will show me what emails were edited by this person in last few couple of days. Okay. Same goes with list, groups, and data extension. Okay. So what is content builder emails means what? You can see the word email, right? So whatever emails the person creates will be visible to me on this section or edited by him will be visible to me on this section. Okay. Same goes with list, groups, and data extension. These three are the types of tables that we have within Marketing Cloud. Okay. Another word, I would say these are the data models of Marketing Cloud. Okay. On the right hand side, you can see like what emails were sent in past and what have been pending. Pending as in like scheduled for future. Okay. This is the purpose of the first tab. Okay. Let's see the major tab called a subscriber tab now. Okay. Here we have something called as all subscriber. Okay. Now let's say like I'll open a notepad. Okay. So imagine like you want to send an email to someone. Correct? You what you need is like the email address of that person. Then only you can trigger the communication to that person. Correct? You have the email address, you can send that email to that person. Let's say the email address is this. Next is what you require. You require an email, a drafted mail, right? And now you have the email address to whom you want to send it, and you have also drafted an email, right? Then only you need can just send out this communication, correct? Same thing. This portion is all about data, the email address of the person, okay, to whom you want to trigger the communication. Now it doesn't work directly like you just store the data on this section, okay? This is the different part, okay? You can call it as like all subscriber, the master list of email studio, okay, where you see the users getting added to the system, okay? So imagine like you get signed up with some of the platforms, right? Scroll to, okay. Whenever you sign up, right, you get an email from that specific business. Okay, for whatever business you sign up, right, you get an email, right? So during this email or sign up process of the form, right, you click on the checkbox. On the checkbox, it says like send me future communications or add me to the marketing list. Correct. If I just open a Facebook example right away, Facebook sign up, you would see in the bottom they have already given us the message of yeah, you may receive SMS notification from us and can opt out anytime. Right? Means they are not giving you the ability to click on a checkbox to get into SMS. Okay, they have directly mentioned that you will receive the SMS. You may receive the SMS. Okay. Similarly, emails are also been sent in the same place. As soon as I give my email address over here and I click on a sign up, right? This portion will change to email. Okay, means what? We are giving our consent to that company to send us communication, right? So whenever you give your consent to any of the company, okay, and these guys are using marketing cloud, you will be part of this system, okay, called as all subscriber. Okay. So what is the definition for all subscriber? All subscriber is a master list of marketing cloud. Okay. Whenever a customer gives his consent to receive a communication from the business he is applying or signing up with, right? He will get automatically added to the all subscriber. Okay. That is the purpose of it. So Facebook is an example of it. If you just start writing over here your email address, I hope this will soon this will change to email after some time. Okay. So like if you give your consent, then only you are a part of this system, okay, of this part of called as all subscriber, right? So whenever you get added to this list, what exactly happens with your data? The very first thing you get is something called as email address, right? This is the column. And there is second column as status and third column called as subscriber key. Okay. So email address is whatever you gave during the sign up process. That is your email address. Okay. Let's say my email address is this. Okay. It will never accept the email address that is invalid. Invalid in the form of what? Missing at the rate, missing equals or some spaces or something. Okay. If at the rate is missing, it won't accept the value. Because the form which you are filling, right, will already have a validation, form validation. If I just do this right away, I will get an error over here. Invalid email address, right? Because at the rate is missing. Same thing is applied over here for marketing cloud. It have the validation for everything that you upload. Okay. Secondly, as you are a new person to the system, you will get a status called as active. Okay. And you will get a unique identifier called as subscriber key. Okay. Now subscriber key is totally based on the company's business model. Okay, what they use it for. Now we'll consider what email address is subscriber key, because one person will have its own unique, right? Unique email address. The duplicate email addresses are not available in market, right? Or in the internet, right? So let's imagine like this is what you see whenever you get added to the system. Okay, as I said, this may vary. Subscriber key may vary based on the business and the projects. People do create different things. What could be the different thing? The company can follow a structure of, let's say, If I'm in Amazon, I would write it AMZ-001. Okay, my first subscriber is 001. Using the same method, okay, my users will go on and continuously they can receive something called as 001. Okay, means it could be AMZ-001, or I would say if you want to continue with the same series, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay. The number of records you add, the system will automatically keep on assigning them the last number used on it. Okay. If last 001 was used, the next person will receive 2, next 3, next 4, and 5. Okay. This kind of logic can also be applied for the subscriber key column. That is different. We won't go into that right now. Okay. So this is what we get initially. Okay. Whenever you get added to the list. Next is what? Status. You got active status. Okay. Next, you get the unsubscribe status. Then you get the bounce status and the held. Okay. Now, as I said, like initially you're an active person because the system have just received your data and haven't tried to send a communication. Okay. Let's say you received a communication and you're not interested to see the communication, right? You get an unsubscribe button. As soon as you click on unsubscribe button, you are marked as what? Unsubscribed in the system. Okay. As soon as the system is trying to send you the communication, let's say this email address is invalid, maybe the domain is wrong or something, right? It get bounced. So this is how it marked you as bounced. Okay. And what is held? Okay. Imagine like the system tried to send you communication thrice in a month. Okay. All the 3 times whenever the system tried to reach you out, your system wasn't allowing to or let's say the email was triggering back to marketing cloud. Okay, reverted back to marketing cloud that the uh, email address you're trying to reach is currently unavailable or invalid, some reason. Okay, so 3 times if it happens in a month, you are changed to held. Why it changes to held? Because we have to maintain a reputation of our email address. Okay, we don't want our emails to go to the spam box, right? That is the reason the system tried to send you communication thrice once it get bounced. In these 3 sessions of email delivery, if your email get bounced back to marketing cloud again, right, you are changed to held. Okay, that is the procedure of conversion from bounce to held. And whenever the user is in held stage, marketing cloud will never try you to send the communication. Okay, unless until you reach to us or to the business directly and ask them the reason why your emails are getting bounced or you're not receiving the communication. Okay. Then after reviewing the user information and everything, we can inform the customer like, okay, this is the email address you have shared with us and it is invalid. Okay, then the customer will reach to the support team and your business support team and interact with them and then they will get updated the information. Okay. If a customer would like to unsubscribe and he is not able to see an unsubscribe button on his end, right? Again, he can reach out to the same customer support team and that team will come to you in the backend part and ask you to unsubscribe the person. Okay. That is manual unsubscribe. Okay. The person himself want to unsubscribe, he can just see the unsubscribe button in the bottom of his email. Okay. Yes, Meghna, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, Vikrant. So this subscriber key is being automatically assigned by the system?
Yes, initially it is assigned by the system, not email address. It would look like something, would see this numbers you can see, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it must have started somewhere from 001.
Okay.
Okay. This is the standard practice, or you can say standard one that comes in. But based on the source from where the data is coming, right, we can set up the subscriber key.
Okay.
Standard
And
is this one.
how do we set up the subscriber key? I mean, it gets automatically assigned by the system as well as we can get it done manually also.
Yes, yes. For the
Okay.
manual part, will when we start data extension, I'll show you how to do it. Okay.
Okay, okay, sure, yeah.
Okay. So this is what it is with email address, status, and subscriber key. Okay, these are the standard columns we have. After that, we have the other columns called as created date, added date, right? Up to HTML. Okay. from email to HTML, whatever you see, all the columns are system defined column. None of them are user defined column. Okay, from email address to HTML. Okay, after HTML, whatever you see are the user defined columns. So in interview, it is asked like, is it possible to add columns to all subscriber? Okay, so by system, if you see, we don't have that option to do it. Okay, but this option can be modified from where? From the profile management option. Okay, so from profile management, you can add a column over here, but within all subscriber, you can't. Okay, if you read the definition on your help page, right, it will say no, we cannot add a column or modify any column, right? But if you go through profile management as an alternative, you can add the columns over here. Okay, because this part is related to profile management, right? So let me just open up one of the inbox to show you how it looks like. So you guys can also have created one inbox like this. Okay. Last week we had sent an email. Okay. So you can see like this is the inbox, okay, over here, and this one. Okay, I'll do a test quickly. Okay, to I'll show like why these columns and where do you see the columns. So we'll do a simple test send to ourselves. Okay, so for that, right now we are learning subscriber, right? I just went to same dashboard of Email Studio. I clicked on content. Okay, and waiting for it to get loaded. Okay, I'm just sending a test email to myself. Wait. So this test is sent. This is how you guys can also send a test to yourself and check the inbox. So this is a disposal inbox, okay, guys. So you can always see like emails delivering to you, and you can also delete them. Okay, in the meantime, I think it is getting delivered. Let's go back to the tool. Okay. So this columns will be visible to you whenever email is delivered to you in the inbox. Okay. It comes in the form of profile management. Okay. Which has to be added to every email communication as per the GDPR Act. Okay. So in GDPR, it is required because uh, means it's a kind of standard rules and regulations for all the data you share over internet. Okay. So GDPR. There is something called as GDPR, okay, General Data Protection Regulation in European Union, okay, and there's one more act called as Can Spam Act. Okay, these two acts are taken into consideration whenever you guys are sending any emails out of the system. Okay, so what is scan spam? So this is a US law passed to regulate commercial emails. So whenever you want to send any commercial email, right, you have to be make sure that you provide what opt-out method to the person to whom you are sending the communication. Okay. So this is Can Spam Act and this is GDPR. Okay, so in interview it might ask, okay, what are the two things, rules and regulations you need to follow during the communication, right? So first is GDPR, second is Can Spam. So Can Spam looks for what? Whenever you send any commercial email to any customer, right? It will always look for what? Your opt-out method. Means what? If I'm sending you any email, okay, as a business, so I should give you the ability to unsubscribe. Means I'm not making it mandatory for you to receive my communication. Right? For a transactional email, it is okay to not send you a unsubscribe button. But whenever I send you a commercial email where I'm doing a business, right, you should have your rights to unsubscribe from the email you are receiving. That is Can Spam Act. Okay. In GDPR, it's about data regulations. Means whatever data I am storing about you as a person, right, in my system for sending the communication, you will have the right to receive to see like that data. Okay. Okay, you should have that ability to see the data out of it. Okay. Okay, sent to wrong inbox. Okay, so these are the two major aspects of email communication, GDPR and CAN spam. Okay, moving back again to profile management. So if you want to create a new column in the all subscriber, so if from profile management you can add it. Okay, you can just click on create button. Now this creation of new columns in the all subscriber is based on the business requirement only. Okay, initially whenever you join a company, right, you'll always see what these fields are already created. Okay, the fields in all subscriber are already created based on the business requirement, because as we just read like what is GDPR, right? In GDPR it says like whatever data you're storing for the customer, you have to display them all. Okay, you can hide some of the records that you hide some of the data that is not required to be displayed to the customer, but at least PI information, means whatever personal information about a customer you have stored, right, that should be visible to everyone. Okay, whoever you are sending the commercial communication or transactional communication mostly. Okay, so you can only have three data types created over here. One is text, drop down, and number. Okay, if I click on data, sorry, it is text, numeric, and date. Okay, for the text one only itself, we could make it look like a drop down. Okay, so I'll just create one example over here, general, and go back to the this one. Okay, let's give it a name. Uh, let's call it as hobby. Okay, description of this activity or whatever you say, like field over here, then the order. Okay, display order. What is display order? So whenever I go to my inbox, okay, I got the mail, right? Loading, I think the full part of it. Yeah, here is the profile center. Okay, that should be an href actually, this part, but it came up as a URL. I'm just opening it directly. Okay, so you can see the email was sent to my inbox, so I'm getting all my information stored over here, right? So you can see department, first name, last name, email address. All this data came from where? It came from my all subscriber. Okay, if you search for this inbox now in all subscriber directly, right? You will find my username, right, or my email address over here. I double click on it. I click on attributes. Okay. So attribute means what? Whatever information is stored against me in the system. So in my department, it is IT. First name Vikrant, last name Kumar, and HTML emails, yes or no, right? Same thing you can see over here, right? If I just update any information on this part now, let's say I remove it from IT to let's say HR. Okay, I clicked OK. So if I refresh the page, this changed to HR. Same thing if I do from this section. Now let's say this is something done by a internal team user. Okay, let's say this is done by a customer support person, because based on customer's request, we made a change. Now let's say the customer himself went to the inbox, clicked on this href from here. This window will get opened for him. On this window, he comes in and he just changes this to IT. Okay, and he want to change this name to something else, whatever he say. Let's say let's make it K. Okay, and he clicked on update. Right, personal information updated. Let's go back. I guess I'll just double click on this now again. See the changes happening on the marketing cloud end also. Right? Department change to IT, last name change to K. Right? So this is how the profile center works. Okay. Means the customer should have the ability to update his own information. Sometimes what happens, the raw data that you receive from market, right? It is having incorrect information about the person sometimes. Okay. So you should go in and just update the information. That is the capability we should provide them. The GDPR Act. Okay. Next button you can see is called as unsubscribe. Right. Now if I just open this one URL over here, okay. I'm not sure like why we can't do it directly. Let's see. I'm just opening the window, okay. Unsubscribe. Thank you. You have been unsubscribed, right? Now you would see the user. My status will change to unsubscribe. So let's search the user again. See, it's changed to red color now. Earlier it was green color because it was an active person. Now you can see it is unsubscribed, right? Now there is a way I can make it activate. I can simply go to this button and click on activate. Okay, I am resubscribed now. If I refresh the page again, I will be unsubscribed again. Okay, we got resubscribed to the system again. That's how the profile center works. Okay, and within the profile center only, it allows you to add the new columns that we are adding called as hobby column. Okay, can give the description. And I was talking about a display order part, right? What is display order? Now it says 5, right? So in the profile center, if you see, we have 4 columns: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So display order means what? The next column I create, next field that I'm creating, like this field, will come to the 5th position. If I want to change the position of that column that we are creating, a new field, right? Click on change button and just move it up. If I move it up, what will happen? It will be on the 4th position now. Means what? The email will be 5th one. Okay. Now attribute should be required. If you want to mark it as required, we'll make it required. Hidden, you can mark it hidden, read only, or update during the send time. Okay, send time activity should be updated. Means while you send the communication, then it will get updated. Okay. Next is what? Data. In data, you can select the data type. Okay. So data type are of 3 types over here right now: text, numeric, date. Okay. I'll go with text for now. Very simple example. Any default query you want to set up, you can set it up. If you see in the profile center, we have 4 options over here. Okay. Same thing. If I just open it up, let's say if I just go in to profile management, and I click on Preview Profile Center. I hope you could see the screen, right? The next one, let me just open up over here. Okay, this is the profile center, which is default. You can see in department, HR is always coming at the top because this is a default value, right? Same default value you can give up over here if you want. Okay. Let's use sports as a word, or let's use select as a word, anything you want. Okay. Next, we go and click on values. In the value, you can add the restrict possible values. This means what? It's not restricting anything. It will only allow you to select the values that are in that drop down. Apart from that, it won't allow to use any other columns. Okay, other values. So click on add. Okay, 1, 2, okay, just added standard games. Okay, next is Salesforce. So while you move from values to the next tab, right, you'll always receive a notification from the tab. Okay, right now I move to Salesforce. Right, whenever you move to Salesforce, this is different than Marketing Cloud. So right now, what we are learning a part of Salesforce, right? Salesforce, see, Salesforce is a cloud, right? Or you can say Salesforce is a CRM. Under Salesforce CRM, we have multiple clouds available. We have health, we have education, we have marketing, right? Right now, what we are learning SFMC, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, right? So whenever Salesforce Marketing Cloud integration is done with the Salesforce CRM, right, we get the ability to map our Marketing Cloud fields with the Salesforce field. That is the purpose of this option that we will see later, not now. When we perform the integration at that time, we will see the option this how to use this one. Okay. Right now we are just learning up to values. Okay. Just click OK. So whenever you click on OK, you will have this option. You will have to click on the OK button over here. Okay. Now new field is added. If I go back to my profile center, which I had opened, right? If I refresh this one, right, I would see that new column added over here. You can see hobby is coming up over here. Right? If I go and update something like this, update, you will see my records in the system. I'll go back to all subscriber again. Click on my user attributes. See my hobbies updated over here. Okay.
So Vikrant, this attributes is added for this person only, right? Not for the entire subscriber list.
No, only for that person because it was sent to his inbox, correct?
Okay.
From his
But what
inbox,
is the
he's
use case of this? Why we are doing this exercise? Any business use case?
I didn't got your question. Can you
So
speak loud?
suppose,
You're very low.
give me a minute. Okay. So I am saying we have created one extra attribute, right? That is hobby.
Yeah,
But and it will be shown to the all subscriber
correct.
for that particular user only. But
No,
what
no,
is the
no.
use
It would
case?
be global.
Yeah. So it is for that particular user, right? Suppose we have created this attribute to the
Mm,
Vikrant. So
okay.
it will be visible for Vikrant only, not the entire subscriber list, right?
No. It is for entire subscriber. I didn't create it specifically for one person, right? I went into profile
Okay.
management, right? Okay.
Huh.
I created it over here. So this globally got
Okay.
updated in the all subscriber. If you look in all subscriber,
Hmm.
it is added over here. Okay, for everyone.
For everyone, it is football. Okay.
Yeah, because we didn't give any default value, correct? So it shows up
Hmm.
what the first value of the uh, first value from the hobby.
Okay.
If I
But
have
what is
given
the business use case for this?
business use case.
Yeah.
Okay. So business use case would be, let's say, initially when I started with Marketing Cloud, my
Hmm.
consultant said to, okay, we only want to have three information from a customer,
Hmm.
department, first name and last name. Okay. Now
Hmm.
we are expanding, so we would be requiring more information about the customer, let's say hobby example. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's say the person is interested in football.
Hmm.
Okay, or the person is interested in basketball, right? Based on their
Uh,
hobbies, we could personalize the communication for them and display the content accordingly. We can use that for that purpose for personalization.
so for segmentation, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
you can segment the records. Now I
Okay.
have chosen just football example, okay? It
Hmm.
could be anything, correct? Now
But
based on that
can we
part,
make this attribute by any chance mandatory?
yes, we can.
Okay.
So if you go back to hobby,
Hmm.
you have the option of required. Yes, now this is not available because once it is created, it cannot be used to make it required again. But during the creation, when you mark it as
Okay.
required, right?
Okay.
Right now, as you can see, we cannot make it mark, right? Make it required because it is grayed out.
Hmm.
Same thing will happen once you mark it required. It cannot be changed back to like a non-required field.
Got it. Can we make this nullable as well?
Nullable, yes, we can.
Okay.
As you can see, whenever you mark it as required, it is a required field. When you keep it
Hmm.
blank, right? It will be definitely nullable field by default.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Right now.
we have created the checklist, right?
Yeah,
And
but
he has given the first value.
yeah, if I in the data value, if I just say select as a keyword, right? Instead of football, in the default value,
Ah,
I would have given
hmm.
select word. It will be a nullable field.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So this is what we do in all subscriber, and this is how the record to try to come into the system. Now there are two ways of adding a person over here. One is by using an import button, or one is a create button. Okay. So whenever you manually add someone, right, the system will ask you whether the person have given you consent somewhere. Okay. During the consent part, it will ask you to select the uh, opt-in certificate for that person. For example, if you click on create button, let's say this, we're gonna use an example over here. Okay, this is my subscriber key. I'm gonna copy the subscriber key and email address. I'm gonna use. I'm manually adding a person over here. Okay, so next. So the next page it will ask for where it will go. So by default it is all subscriber, but it is a subchild of all subscriber called as list. Okay, and finish. So this person is added over here. Okay, if you search now, you can search it via email address, domain, HTML preferences, status of the person, or a subscriber key. I have copied the subscriber key. I'll search with this one. Find.
Can we search from hobby?
From hobby. No, we cannot.
Like hobby is the field which we created, right? So we can't search any by the custom field.
No, no custom fields allowed. You can see like look for subscribers in all subscriber. search where criteria only allows you to have the fields. I think HTML preferences is only yes and no, and rest it
Uh, I think to search it, it should have a unique value to search, right?
unique value. Oh, I'm not sure. Like, because if you see by default, we only have two options, either email address or subscriber key. So I think apart from that, we
Subscriber
can.
key is the itself the unique value, right?
It's a unique identifier for that person, but to use the hobby part, I don't think so. That is possible.
Why I'm asking is because in searchware, you have a status also. So status will it is not a unique one, I guess.
Yeah, it have four things in that:
Uh,
active, return, deliverable, and subscribe. And in domain, you can just go with domains, and first is your email address. I think the search part is only allowed with domain. Means custom search, email address, domain, and subscriber key. Rest these two are default ones. So I don't think so. It is possible anywhere. Okay. So
okay.
the person is added in the system, right? Now, what you can do with this record? Let's say you got a manual request from your team to unsubscribe a person, right? When you get a manual request, you can just search the person in the system using his email address. Click on unsubscribe from all. Okay. Add the reason over here. CX contacted to unsub. Okay. This is unsubscribe process. If we change to red color, right? Let's say you got a request to activate him back. You can click on activate button and he's activated. Okay. Let's say the team said, okay, please look for the person he have received an unwanted communication from the system. So again, you can click on history. For past 90 days, you can see what emails were sent to him. Okay. What was his activity? In the activity, you can see his engagement, means click, open, okay, and the date on which date it occurred, the event occurred. Okay. Groups and list will allow you to understand like whether the person is a part of any of the list or a group. Okay. Means what? If I am adding this person to the system, okay, whether he is part of any of the other data models within Marketing Cloud. Because let's say I came to the system or signed up to the system first from the web. Second, I came to the system from an POS store, okay, from some store, physical store. And later I also came from a third party data in the same system, right? So I can be part of a list somewhere, I can be a part of group somewhere, right? So we can directly see whether I am a part of any of the groups in the system or any of the list. Okay. Next is attributes, where you can change the information for that person. And this is general. When you got added to the system, okay, all those things are available on this part.
Vikrant, can you show one more time from where have we added the attribute, the hobby attribute from the
Yes,
profile management?
you can go to profile management, okay, on the left hand side,
Mhm.
click on create button. And you can add your field information over here. If you want to mark required and everything, you can do it from this part. And if you want to add description, you can add it. Next, click on data.
Okay, okay, yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So this is about the information about a person you can see. Now let's say like you guys want to see all the users with a domain called as gmail.com. Just search like this. It will list you out from the 6,000 records, 66624 records, right? You would see all the people residing with the Gmail domain, the numbers of them, numbers together. Okay, we have 2725. Let's say you want to see something regarding status, all the undeliverable, okay, or return. What are return? Return means bounce, okay. Undeliverable means what? Held. Okay, they have just changed the names over here, but the purpose is same. If you want to see all the bounce, click on return and search.
Uh,
It will show you the list of people bounced.
Vikrant,
Yeah.
is SQL involved in SFMC, or can we search any, like, is there search criteria which we can do using SQL or filter like that?
Yes, you can use SQL. So I'll show you a table. So in Marketing Cloud, there's a default table called as data view. Okay. It stores all the information that you guys have. Let me just go to Google directly. Okay, you can see these table names, right? Enterprise attributes, subscribers, sent, open, bounce, right? All these tables are integrated to each other using a common field between them. Okay, just showing you the diagram over here. So for these tables, we get the metrics of the email sends that we have done. Okay, metrics means what? Number of emails sent from a system, number of opens, number of clicks for an email. Okay, engagement, unsubscribe, bounce, everything you say about an email, we can find it and provide to the client. So for using or finding this data, right, out of this table names, you have to use SQL queries. So about status, right? So you can see this column called as subscribers. This is a this is a table name, sorry. And this under this table, we have a column called as status. So we can also find the status of a person from this part. Means using SQL query basically. Not that hard. Okay, means it looks like very big skeleton over here of data model, but quite simple when you just do a single query. You can write other queries as well. Most of the time we use joins over here. Okay, this is the key for Marketing Cloud SQL joins. Whenever you want to work on the data, this is where we use it. Okay, on the help page we have everything. I'm just showing you right now as an image. Got it? Okay, so this is what you can do with the subscriber tab. This is how we can play around the tabs. And next is tracking. In the tracking, you can see the last sends that have happened from this user or from this account. Okay, for last 30 days, we have worked on this two campaigns, so three campaigns over here, three email sends. Okay, and on the left hand side, you can see active people, bounced people, undeliverable, and unsubscribed. Okay. In the properties, you can see like when this account was been last started. Okay. So this tracking will allow you to traverse to the tracking section directly. So when you click on this job ID, right, it is hyperlinked somewhere. When you open it, you can see it changed to tracking over here. Means what, it went to this section on sends. Okay, by default it came up over here. If I just roll back again to all subscriber and I just move it. Okay, let's say this is my all subscriber tab, and this is where I'm going the tracking sends. Okay, I click on test send. You can see this birthday campaign, right, was done in July. This was done in February. Okay, see the difference between them. So that is the reason I can only see whatever was done in last 30 days. Okay, because today I sent two emails. Okay, on 1st of July I sent one email. On 7th of July I sent out two emails, one to my other inbox and one to the Yokemail inbox. Okay, the same window can be accessed directly from the all subscribe. If we click on tracking, right, we click on birthday campaign. Okay, 9518 is a job ID. This is hyperlinked on this section, but here it is not hyperlinked. This is never hyperlinked in the tracking part. This is hyperlinked because in the all subscriber, because it is a shortcut to tracking section. That is the reason it has been hyperlinked over there. Okay, so this is what we can do guys in the all subscriber. Okay, now for all subscriber we have the child list available. Okay, as you know, all subscribers are parent list, we have the other child list available called as my list, my groups. Okay. So you can say all subscribers parent, this is child, this is subchild of my groups. Okay. So in my list, if I just go to my list, okay, and just show you a sample list over here, let's say Big Billion Day. Okay. So in Big Billion Day, this is a sample list. And if you add a person in this list, okay, the same person will be visible to you in the all subscriber, means in the parent. Make it side by side. This is parent, this is child. Okay, in the child we have a list created, sample list. If I add a person from here, the same person will be visible to you in the all subscriber. As you can see, all subscriber is totally identical, right? Or I would say list is totally identical with the all subscriber. If you see start from email and chat hobby, list will also start from email and chat hobby. Okay. So any action you take in parent will impact definitely the child. Okay. If I unsubscribe a person from here and he is a part of this list, definitely he's going to unsubscribe from here also. Okay. So let's add a person. Okay, before we create a person or something, let me show you the list creation. So just click on this create button. Give a name to your list. Let's call it a sample list for now. And in this folder, I'm just storing it, for example. Save it. Okay, I'll recreate it. I think I got a bit fast over here, so let me just recreate it again. So we are into my list right now. Under my list, we have a folder created, Big Billion Day. This is how it is created. Right click on it and click on new folder. Okay, when you click on new folder, it will ask you to rename it. Okay, I won't create it over here right now. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow in the this trading sandbox. Okay, so we came into this folder. In this folder, I have a list created called a sample list. Okay, click on this list. Now click on create button. Next. Okay, this is what I'm using as a inbox. Next. Let me copy and paste this first. I'll go back. I'll copy the email address so that we could search the person. Okay. Next. Now finish. Okay. Record has been added to the sample list. Click on this hyperlink again to go back. Instead of using this button, always use the hyperlink given at the system only. Okay. So if you click on this now, you would see a record is added over here. Right. Now I added this record in where? In a sample list, right? If I go back to my all subscriber and search the same person over here, click on search button. I have the email address, right? Find now. You can see the person is added, right? Double click on the person. Click on list to see where the person is residing right now. Click on list. You would see the name called a sample list. Okay, means what? We can see the 360 overview of the person, where he is currently, what his status is now. Now he's an active person, right? Let's make him unsubscribe. If I mark him unsubscribe in all subscriber, right? Currently we're in all subscriber, right? If we mark him unsubscriber over here, automatically his status will change to unsubscribe here also. See, when you click on unsubscribe from here, all okay. See, he's active, right? I'll refresh the page of list now. I'll go back in the hyperlink, click on the sample list again. He is unsubscribed. Okay, that is a relationship between a all subscriber and a list. Okay, that's how it impacts the data. Now, list is a data model within Marketing Cloud. Okay, so there are two data models for Marketing Cloud. One is list, one is data extension. Currently, what we are learning list. Okay, so list uses what? System defined attributes. Another word for attribute is what? Column. Right? In tables, what you have rows and column, right? Same thing, it is called as column. Attributes you can consider as rows, column. For now, just imagine it is just a column. Okay. Then it can only hold up to what? 5 lakh records is a limitation, data limitation to be stored. Okay. Next is what? It is used for communications which are right, which are like newsletter, okay, alerts, any kind of promotional campaign, one-time promotional campaign, right? Basic communications, right? So wherever there is not required much personalization, okay, because as you know, the list use what? System defined attributes, okay. I will have very limited information for that person to make it more dynamic. I have only what department, first name, last name, and hobby, right? But as compared to list, right? In the data extension, this section, okay, it is called a user defined attribute. What is user defined attribute? If it is system defined, it uses which columns? The columns from the all subscriber. Whatever column is there, it uses the same column, correct? But for the data extension, it is user defined. Means what? You can have your own columns created based on the data that you have received from the third party. Because whenever we purchase some data from a third party for Marketing Cloud or any system, right? For email communication or SMS communication, right? We get n number of information about that person, right? So we could have many fields created over here. There is no limitation of field creation. Okay. Field means columns, attributes. No data limitation. Means there is no storage limitations also. Okay. Unless and until you have a good premier package or a signature package. Premier package actually. Okay. Then it can be used for every communication that is sent out of Marketing Cloud. Okay. Can call as cross-channel communication. Okay. This is enough for an interview. In an interview to explain, okay, what are the two data models of Marketing Cloud? List and data extension are the two data models of Marketing Cloud. List uses system defined attributes. It can only hold up to 5 lakh records. Okay. It is used to send communications such as newsletter, alerts, and promotional campaigns, basic campaigns. Data extension is uses system defined uses user defined attributes, means you can have created your own columns in the table. There is no storage limit, and it can be used for cross-channel communication. Okay, this is the definition for data models of Marketing Cloud. List and data extension. Both are tables. Okay, both are tables and rows. In that you will find columns and rows. Okay, but what is the difference? It is following what system? It is following user. Okay, that is a major difference between them. Okay, so this was for today. Okay, you guys can also have your own user added to the list. Directly click on create and add yourself to the system. Okay, tomorrow we'll see like the rest of the things, like how we can use your data and move it within the system. Okay. Any doubts, any questions, guys? Anyone have? Okay, if not, okay, you have question, Tanmay?
Uh, yeah, the one which we discussed regarding the Salesforce. Like we will be connecting the marketing cloud with Salesforce.
Uh-huh.
So in this course, will we be seeing
We
just the
will cover that. We will cover that.
yes? So we will just
Integration.
cover the configuration, or we will send the data to and fro.
Configuration will be starting when we do the journey builder.
Okay, and there was one small doubt, the regarding the status, 3 bounce is equal to 1 hold, right? Held.
Yeah, yeah. Now for email and SMS, there are two different things. So let me just bring it up. So when it is hard bounce, right? In that situation, it is a case. So you can see like we have soft bounce. Okay. So whenever it is a soft bounce, right? The system will try to send you the communication for 72 hours. Okay. Means what? Every 15 minutes, once you get a bounce, right? My system will try to send you email for next 72 hours with the attempt of 288 tries. Okay. Only after the system stops attempting to retry, subscriber in the status will change to bounce. This is for short bounce. Okay. As we are talking about held, right? Let's move to held. Held comes after a hard bounce. Hard or block bounce, I think. No. Yeah, in this situation. So you can, yeah, here you can see when it changed to held. Okay. For example, if hotmail.com is trusted domain, on Hotmail's feedback is that an address is bad. Okay. The status automatically changes to undeliverable. The system doesn't wait for the address to bounce 3 times over 15 days. Means what? Within a span of 15 days or 30 days, okay? It is just an example, okay? Within a 30 days, if you bounce thrice, okay? 3 times you're getting bounced, right? You are marked as held, means undeliverable. But if a domain itself is letting you know that just like in hotmail.com, right, is giving you feedback. In that case, it won't retry to send you the communication. Automatically, you are marked as undeliverable. Okay. But this will happen when only in hard bounce situation. Okay, usually the user go to held only when it is hard bounce. Whenever it is a soft bounce, there are criteria for it. See, in a soft bounce, what could be the situations? It could be mailbox is full, user account is over the quota. Okay, it is account is disabled, temporarily disabled, or mailbox is disabled or not accepting message. This is soft bounce. But in case of block bounce or technical bounce out, it won't mark you as held immediately. Okay, but it when it comes to hard bounce, right? Hard bounce is what? It is completely an invalid email address, or even the email address is not available in the market. It is just created and people have given it. Because see, if you, even though you as a user, you visit somewhere, right, and someone asks you for your email address, sometimes you try to give an invalid email address because you are writing it on a pen and paper, right? So such situation do occur where system will not attempt to send you the communication after several days, and that then is where you come to undeliverable status called as held. And held will occur, see, in this situation: domain is unknown, user unknown, bad address syntax, unknown address percentage, and other reasons for it. Okay.
Vikrant, today we covered profile management, so we will be covering preference
Preferences.
management as well, right?
Yeah, preference will come when we do with publication list.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and Vikrant, as I'm new to the this environment, so like, what are the day-to-day responsibilities of a SFMC professional?
Based on your profile you get hired for, so there are usually three major roles. One is like campaign specialist, second is your, I think the developer role, and I think consultant role, right? 3 roles. Admin is a part of it, but no, not required. Usually people don't get hired for admin. Okay. The campaign specialist is a person responsible to work on email creation. Okay. Now, email creation is not something hard. It is a drag and drop functionality that we have to use. Okay. And a part of AIM script. Okay. To make the email look personalized.
Okay.
Uh, Developer is responsible mostly, like, they now depends on the company. Okay. I'm just talking about a standard practice, what I have seen. Developer is responsible for working on the data modeling. I won't say data modeling, data segmentation, something, sometimes hard coding. Okay. And the consultant is a person who uses the roadmap about how to and reach to this point and something. Okay.
Vikrant, what about SSJS
It will come over here.
developer? Okay.
Yes.
So SQL queries.
Yeah, everything will come on this section.
So Vikrant, we are going to cover all the topics, or we are going to
No,
cover
we're gonna do the
everything?
use cases on this one from scratch.
Sorry, come again.
We're gonna do the use cases on this one, SSJS, AMP script, SQL, JS, not JS, I would say, part of JS, HTML and API.
So we are covering all these things as well,
Yeah,
from basic, right?
real time. I'll give you the use cases. I'll work with you together on the screen to
Uh,
go through that.
okay. Even after the completion of all topics, can we cover the one live project, or simultaneously can we work on the live project so that that will be easier to understand
Yeah,
the
like
flow?
so in marketing cloud we don't call them as project, actually. We call them as use case, okay?
Acha.
Because we are doing email marketing, right? If
Hmm.
I just send out an email, my project is done. That is what it looks
Correct,
like,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
So we call them as use cases. So we'll be going through the major use cases, majorly the preference center.
Hmm.
We'll be focusing more on that because it is all a bit center of attraction for your resume, preference center. Okay.
Hmm.
Then unsubscribe. Okay. Then the other sections like lead generation, trigger sends, the major
Hmm.
ones which are required for your resumes actually to get highlighted.
Okay. One more thing, it is actually not required in the class, but I just want to ask you, what is the implementation means in the email marketing?
Implementation process. So
Yeah.
implementation for marketing cloud would be, first is domain hosting.
Acha.
Okay. Major one is SAP. Okay. IP warming. Okay. All these basic three things are required for an account to get started majorly. Okay. SAP is a
So,
major one where you get your private domains,
hmm.
IP, and rest like branding part, mostly branding for your email communication. And
Hmm.
warming is like whatever domains you're gonna purchase, right?
Hmm.
To warm and keep that reputation.
Whitelisting of
Yeah,
the domain.
maintaining the reputation of your
Hmm.
IP in the market so that it should get delivered to the right inbox and not to the junk or spam box. So
So this is the part of implementation, right?
yeah,
Okay.
rest is like
Yesterday,
mhm.
tell me.
If you want to have like business unit implemented or something else, it is totally based on our admin section. If you just navigate to admin, right?
Hmm.
So that is something comes under the user creation, or I would say like main is what business unit that comes in, and in the company setting, sorry, the security setting, the domain allow list and SSL certificate. All this comes
Hmm.
under your SAP. These are the major
Okay.
ones to be taken care of before you
What
start.
exactly the implementation means? Is there something which can be connected with the another system or something like that? That is the part of integration, I think.
Yeah,
So I'm
that comes under
confused.
your data management. If you go to data management, click
Hmm.
on file locations. This comes under the file location. So if you want to go with AWS, let's say Google storage, right? or
Ah.
Amazon S3. So you can go from here. We have three options of outer systems.
But this is implementation or integration?
Connection only. I won't say integration. This is just like if I go with Amazon storage, right? I just
No,
require their
I
credentials over here.
okay. I just want to know what exactly the implementation is in
Implementation
this.
would be like if I want to have the data pass on from system A to system B, right?
Ah, hmm.
For that purpose, I can use this one, file location. Let's say I want to drop a data on the system, or someone dropped something on
This is
this
the
bucket.
part of implementation.
Yes, based on the
Okay.
requirement, not implementation. This is based on requirement only. Not all company uses based if they have AWS data somewhere, then only they're gonna use it. Implementation is only like SAP implementation is done mostly. Okay. This file
Okay.
location is only for data purpose. If you want to send some data or you want to receive some data externally, then only you
Hmm.
can go with file locations. But whatever I mentioned on this section will come as a part
Hmm.
of your implementation.
Okay. Got it.
If we go more deeper talking about implementation, it would be like if there is a client, he will give me a roadmap. And for him,
Hmm.
if I am implementing something, that would be my campaigns,
Okay.
email campaigns.
Actually, Friday was my interview, and he was asking on the implementation part, which I was not aware. So I told him the integration,
No,
and
integration is a required thing, right? So
hmm,
implementation is like you can say I have implemented end-to-end campaigns. So end-to-end
ah,
campaigns as in like you created the email, you worked on data segmentation, and you
hmm,
started it as a recurring email. So that is something implemented. Or if you hard
okay,
coded something that is implemented.
got it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So this was for today. I hope we connect tomorrow as well. Implementation. Okay. So we can connect tomorrow, guys. Okay. You guys will receive the videos for today. You can go through that again. If you have any doubt, let me know tomorrow. I can just show you up again, all subscriber what it is. Or else we will start with the list part again. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So Vikram,
Thank you guys.
one
Yeah.
last, like where we are going to receive the video,
Mhm.
web is going to share with us.
Yeah, you're gonna receive the video as a URL.
Okay, okay, sure.
Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Have a
Thank
great day.
you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.